From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big evening of evenings LALATE, America's most watched show for financial news in prime time, with major developing news tonight about your fourth stimulus check update of 2022. Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve, spoke today at that major FOMC meeting for May 2022 and did a half basis point as projected. But the analysis that came thereafter, oh boy, as Wall Street analysts are now talking about 3/4 of a basis point. What does this mean for you and your wallet? All the latest tonight, especially as it impacts SS300. Then we'll be turning to the incredible news. We learned it last night, learned it all this week. Tonight, it's LALATE 303. On LALATE 101, we learned that a fourth stimulus check has landed in every U.S. state. Then last night, we learned about what those checks are. Tonight, we learn how to get the check. It's LALATE 303 tonight. Next, we'll be going to the incredible news of other checks, additional checks that are needed as we go into a big bear market. And those additional checks are Build Back Better Act. We have breaking news from the President of the United States tonight that impacts Build Back Better Act. What did he say and what did he not say? I'm going to need a breath mint for this one, folks. And I'm also going to need a binder, and I'm also going to need some extra rooms in the White House to roam to, because this is one of those quotes for the ages. Then we go to the incredible money that is in Build Back Better Act, the incredible money in 6 stimulus, the huge details of what's happening with 7 stimulus, and then we turn back to those incredible checks. It's important for you to become a member, because over this 1-hour broadcast, we're going to go over the huge money that is now available in every U.S. state. LALATE 101, a fourth stimulus check has landed in every U.S. state. LALATE 202, we went over those 4 different checks last night. Tonight, LALATE 303, as we learn how to get those checks. And tomorrow night, we're going to learn how to get multiple checks. It's a big night, and from the shores of Santa Monica, California, I'm excited you're here. Later in this video, we're going to go over the recessionary concerns that are growing by the minute, by the hour, the stagflation concerns, and whether Jay Powell's going to fix inflation. It's a big night with that FOMC details just released, and Joe Biden's latest reactions, Wall Street's reactions. It's Evenings LALATE, and it starts right now. And good evening, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful night. It is gorgeous here in Santa Monica, California, as we go into Cinco de Drinko. Get your lobster sauce ready, because 4 stimulus checks are in every U.S. state. Let's drink to that. In this incredible recording tonight, we're going to go over those incredible checks. It's important for you to get caught up with first understanding that a 4 stimulus check is in every U.S. state, then understanding what the checks are, because tonight we're going to go over how to get those first few checks. It's huge, and it's what we wanted, and it's what's happening tonight. In this incredible broadcast, over 1 hour, sit back, because we're going to go over all those incredible checks in every U.S. state that are 4 stimulus checks. But first, we're going to start with the major breaking details. It's a compound report. It comes in from both Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve, and Joe Biden, and then the reaction to the news as well. The Evenings LA broadcast starts right now. Tonight, we are redigesting the news that came in about 3 hours earlier, as Jay Powell, about 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, announced the results of that May FOMC meeting. The single most important announcement of the Federal Reserve or any economic data for this entire month. Why? Because of 3 things that happened. 1, his announcement. 2, his projections or lack of them. And 3rd, the reaction. Of the 3 things, it's the 3rd one that's the biggest tonight. Jay Powell, I had told you over the last month that we'll be doing a half basis point at today's FOMC meeting. He did. That's how the Federal Reserve works. They give you guidance on what they're going to do before they do it. They don't want to cause instability in the Wall Street markets. So it came in at half basis point. Did he give us guidance thereafter? He really didn't when we talked to the second equation. He said today that there's a lot of issues that he's watching and that they are aware of those inherent details that basically involve the supply chain, they involve China, and they involve Ukraine. He said the economic activity in the United States went down in the first quarter. That is your GDP, meaning the growth in the U.S. economy did stall up this last quarter, which we just ended. We're now at the start of the second quarter. And household spending and business fixed investments remained strong, but inflation remained elevated. He also says he's concerned about the COVID outbreak in China, which is causing that supply chain disruption. And he's worried about how to curb it there and how it impacts delivery of goods. In addition, COVID-related lockdowns in China are likely to exacerbate supply chain disruptions. The committee, referring to his group, is highly attentive to inflationary risks. There you go. So that was one, what we projected. Two, no real big guidance for June or July. And then came the reaction. The reaction was perhaps the biggest news today. Was Wall Street down or up dramatically? No. No major movements in stocks based upon the news. But the reaction from Wall Street, boy, folks, get ready to hold on the seat because this is jaw-dropping. The reaction was 100% of analysts polled today says that Wall Street has embedded in it the risk that there will be more half basis point increase. How many more? At least 4 to 6 over the next few meetings. Excuse me? 24 hours ago, I was barely the only person saying 2 interest rate spikes of half basis point. Tonight, we have 100% of Wall Street analysts now saying it's embedded in the risk of Wall Street half basis point for many meetings. Whoa, things moved very quickly on this channel in 24 hours. Now, it actually gets worse. The next part of the equation is that 56% of those people polled also says there's a high likelihood that there'll be 3, get ready to breathe, 3/4 basis point increases over the next 3 meetings. Excuse me? What has happened here? We went from last week with most people saying 1/4 basis point for the rest of the meetings and 1 or 2 people and then me saying half basis point to tonight, everyone's saying a half basis point for many meetings. And now a few people saying 3/4. You know, what am I supposed to do? Check back tomorrow. It's going to be a 55% increase. What's going on? Now, what do I think? What do I think is that Wall Street insiders now believe that they're hearing and they're seeing what I've been reporting and what some of them have been saying, which is Jay Powell's not going to be able to get down inflation. He's going to try this half today, which he did. It's not going to work. Then he's going to do another half next meeting, and that's not going to work. And then suddenly, we're going to have inflation sitting there. What happens? Hard landing. Hard landing is looking very, very much the case, where Jay Powell will come in very aggressively by about July or August. And at that point, then, whammo, you're heading in a recession. It's going to be too hard and aggressive mood. This is good news for your Build Back Better Act. This is good news for your SS300. We're going to go over all those incredible details starting in 1 second. First, why is it good for your SS300? SS300 is to raise your benefits up $300 more per month. Why is it good for your Build Back Better Act? Because Build Back Better Act is supported with bad economic data, and there's a lot of it tonight. Now, let's go over the status tonight about Build Back Better Act. All great news, and then one big laugh. The good news tonight is that the White House insiders say that the president's putting Build Back Better Act front and center as his agenda, as his poll ratings are getting bad to worse. 55% of Americans now think that the president is not doing a good job. They disapprove of his approval ratings, disapprove of his performance in the office. And that is why he's getting back on point to do Build Back Better Act. And he's trying to refocus all the attentions of the White House on BBB. So that's why he had a press conference on Friday about Ukraine. That's why he went to a javelin throwing factory to produce javelins for Ukraine yesterday. That's why he'll probably drive a Cadillac to the casino tomorrow to talk about Ukraine. It's just, you know, every single day he's talking about Ukraine. He says, well, we're trying to refocus back on the U.S. economy. How about not talking about Ukraine? If you want to do something, just do it, but don't talk about it. Yeah, that was the first part of the equation. The second part of the equation is that the White House insider says the negotiations between Joe Manchin and Sinema are going well, and they're going in good faith, but we're not going to tell you what's going on. It's the optics, Joe. Just, you don't want to show, you don't want to tell, you don't want to show, you don't want to tell. Okay, it's as though I'm leading up to a big joke. Yeah, I am leading up to a big joke. Here comes the big joke. You ready? So, it doesn't look like it's a joke until I tell you what the backside of the story is. The President of the United States announced today he's so proud He's so proud because he thinks this is going to help him in the midterm elections, the Democrats, that the Democrats are cutting the national deficit. Now, let's make sure you understand why he's saying this. This is sort of those topics that they're going to do in the midterm elections. Republicans say Democrats spend, spend, spend. The deficit's growing high, inflation, inflation, inflation. So what did Joe Biden say today? He said, we're on track. We, meaning his office, not NASDAQ, not Formula One racing. We're on track to cutting the national federal deficit by another 1.5 trillion by the end of the fiscal year, the biggest decline in a single year in U.S. history. Oh, that sounds so great, Joe. But it's so untrue. It's so untrue. Now, before you throw something at the TV screen or the computer screen, let me tell you why the comment's so untrue. And you're not going to be happy why it's untrue, but we got to laugh together because this is what this channel's about. The reason why the comment's so untrue is because he's leaving out Build Back Better. Yeah, don't throw anything at me, please. No. Yeah, if it hits your TV screen, it doesn't hit me. Just remember. I'm on the other side. So there's sort of like this plexiglass glass on the other side. It's, that's how they build the new phones. I'm protected if you throw something in your phone. He said today, we're cutting the national deficit by 1.5 trillion. And the way he got around with that number is he left out Build Back Better Act, which is, just a couple $1 trillion. Why did he do that? Why did he do that? Before I tell you why, let me tell you the reaction. The reaction at a time in which Joe Biden, according to reports, is very upset with liberal media for not going after conservative media, for reporting, hey, you're making that up, that's untrue, that's untrue, untrue. Guess what liberal media did with this comment tonight? They said it's untrue, and he's playing around with facts. What he's doing is saying Build Back Better Act has been passed by the House, has 3 clusters and 3 add-ons, is sitting in the Senate, and they want to add checks in there. But he's not including that number calculation into this because it's not a law yet. And yet he thinks it's going to become a law. He's just leaving it out for now. That's really tricky, Joe. You think we didn't catch that? I caught it. Now, let me make this clear to you. The reason why I'm bringing this up for obvious reasons is my viewers, like you, are very smart. You're going to see this quote out in the press. You're going to say, he left out Build Back Better Act. That means he doesn't want to do it. No. It means he's playing around with numbers to try to get your vote. Politicians do this, He's leaving out a provision that spends a lot of money, Build Back Better Act, because it's not a law at the time he wrote this quote. We have an emoji for this. The quote's fine because there's no law yet. Now, when the law becomes law, and when is that? They're calling it for a vote by Memorial Day weekend is what they represent. I'm not voting on it. They represent that. Then this quote, you can sort of throw out the window. I think you could throw out the quote out the window right now. I mean, you passed it in the House. I think that's enough to throw out the quote tonight. Very interesting across the board. Now, the reaction as well to this quote is that he also says why the White House administration has done such a good job for this economy. He says we've reduced federal borrowing. No, you still have to forgive some more student loan debt. We've helped combat inflation. No, that's not you. That's J. Powell. We're trying to ease pressures on this economy because of war. No, you're trying to give a lot of money to Ukraine. And we're trying to control gas prices. No, you haven't. You're only reaching 1 million barrels of gasoline a day, which doesn't bring down the price of gasoline. That's coming up later in this video. That's 6 stimulus. And then we're trying to curb the surging price of food. That's 6 stimulus. You've done nothing about that. That is why my carbs are so expensive. And I've had to resort to eating only bacon. What a travesty. So there you go. That was the quote for Build Back Better Act. Let's go back to reality now that we've gone through that. It was so important for you to know that quote because it's out there. The White House administration will be doing Build Back Better Act. The insiders now say the quote, the vote will be by Memorial Day weekend. And more importantly, is that you may see bipartisan support. Let me tell you why. As we go into the midterm elections, the voting is not on just election night. Most Americans will vote 3 months ahead of time by mail. That means the voting will start by potentially August. That means you want to have a check in your hand, or they want you to have a check in your hand by about July. And to get a check in your hand by about July, then they need to figure out what they're doing now in May. And who's they? Here's what I believe is going to happen. I believe that Democrats and Republicans are going to come together and do this by bipartisan support. I don't think it's going to work for either party if one party does it. Let me tell you why. If Democrats pass the Build Back Better Act by themselves without a Republican, the Republicans will get smeared in the midterm elections. Democrats will point to the Republicans and say, look, we got you millions and millions of dollars, and Republicans got you nothing. If the Democrats try to do a passage of Build Back Better Act by themselves and they fail, they're going to get smeared in the midterm elections. Republicans say, hey, you're the party in control, you got nothing out. Then, if they both do it together, then it's braiding each other's hairs. It's running to the beach with matching lobster shorts. It's going to a San Francisco hairstylist and getting the same hairdo. God forbid. They go into the midterm elections saying, we all helped you, just vote for us, just vote for me. And I think that's why Build Back Better Act will happen, because this is what happens with elected officials. They always want to get you something at the 11th hour to keep their career intact. That's Build Back Better Act. Now, let me repeat what we learned early in this video. Build Back Better Act has additional forced stimulus checks. Additional. Can we say that again? Additional. But there currently is a forced stimulus check now in every U.S. state. Let's say it again. That was LA 101. There's a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Build Back Better Act would give you more checks. Now, let's turn to that SS 300 and what happened with Joe Biden today, what happened with Jay Powell today. And where is this going? Because this, folks, is getting really interesting. We went into today's May FOMC meeting of the Federal Reserve with guidance about what they were going to do. How does this impact your wallet? It impacts your wallet because you want your benefits tied to inflation. That's what Joe Biden promised. That's what is in the presidential platform. And inflation is currently for May 3rd, the highest price point. No, May 4th. Sorry, May 4th. The highest inflationary rate of a generation. Joe Biden promised to swap that COLA for inflation. Let's go over what this means. Every December, your benefits are reassessed based upon a benchmark. The benchmark currently is COLA. COLA doesn't work. It doesn't move up. COLA was 5% in December. Inflation was 8%. You got cheated. Yeah, you got cheated. And had they swapped COLA for inflation, then you would have got a lot more money. The good news is that Joe Biden can still make the swap, or at least make the call to the person who makes the swap. That's the Social Security Administrator head. Pick up the phone and say, swap that COLA for inflation. And within 30 days thereafter, your COLA would be swapped for inflation. Suddenly, in today's recording, your benefits would go up $200 more per month. Because as of today's recording, even as of the FOMC announcement of half basis point today, May 4th, we're still at a little bit more than 8% inflation. Probably about 8.25. What about by the end of the month? We're going to be lower, closer to 8, closer to high 7s. What about thereafter? Well, let's look at the equation. Well, before we look at the equation, let's look at Joe Biden. Joe needs to make that swap from COLA to inflation right tonight, because that would raise your benefits up $200 more per month today. Not just this month, not just this year, but lifetime. Because once your benefits go up, they never go down. You don't want Joe to make the call after inflation is brought down by Jay Powell at the next meeting in June, the next meeting in July. Where does this get interesting? It gets interesting in late summer, early fall. Because at that point, you could have multiple half basis point meetings. You could have multiple 3/4 basis point meetings. And no one knows what's happening. But I got to tell you, these Wall Street analysts are really laughable, not in a good way. They all said quarter just 3 days ago. Now they're saying, hey, it's half. No word what they're going to say by the end of next week. They may also be saying 3/4. 3/4 for several meetings, folks. That is when I get worried about your benefits, because that's not SS 200. That starts to turn into like SS, 11 cents. You want that swap from COLA to inflation tonight. Now, the only thing that is inherently consistent is the end of the year. Many insiders now believe that inflation is not going to track lower than 4%, despite all this stuff with Jay Powell. That's at least $100 then, but I want you to get more than 100. So Joe made that swap from COLA to inflation. There you go. Now, student loan debt forgiveness has big success stories coming across the board, and another one in the works. It's coming up after the commercial break. Then we'll be going to that big 6 stimulus. Whoa, that is huge after the commercial break. My commentary, but you know what's coming up after the commercial break? LA 303. Tonight in LA 303, its debut in evening's prime time, we're going to go over the next step. In LA 101, we learned that a forced stimulus check is in every U.S. state. In LA 202 last night, we went over those four stimulus checks. So you learned what every single check was. What was check A, what was check B, what was check C, and what was check D. Tonight, we're going to learn how to get each of those checks, one of them just tonight. By the end of tonight's recording, I want you to be on your phone or on your computer and getting one of these checks. Because tomorrow night, I'm going to be asking, have you gotten the second check? That's LALATE 404 tomorrow. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, we're just getting started. It's a beautiful night, and we have a lot of money. Get that membership newsletter out, because after the commercial break, we're going to go over all those incredible checks. If you've not become a member today. Go to the top of the channel, pin comment. Become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Then get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Get that membership newsletter out, because after the commercial break, we're going to go over all these incredible checks. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, I'm so excited for you. All these incredible checks are there, and we're going to go over each of them, and we're going to go over how to get ready to get your first one tonight and how to get your next one thereafter tomorrow. It's a big second half of this recording. Get your pen and paper ready. Get your newsletter in front of you. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as Evenings LA continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And it's a big, wonderful night from May 4th, 2022, as we go into the big second half, 24 hours before Cinco de Mayo. Are you ready with your lobster sauce for Cinco de Drinko? It's going to be a beautiful night tomorrow night. Just don't have too much lobster sauce. That's if you're at Mitch's Lobster Fest 2022. In tonight's recording, we're going to go over the four stimulus check in every U.S. state. We went over that in LA 101. Then in LA 202, we went over what the checks are. Tonight, we're going to go to LA 303. The latest in the saga, the latest class to go over how to get the check. Tonight, I want you to go get a check. So let's go over the details of where we are. And I'm going to recap LA 101 if you're new to this channel. And I'm also going to recap LA 202 if you're also new to this channel as well. And if you've not become a member right now. Now, if you are a member, get that membership newsletter in front of you right now, because we're about to go over those incredible checks. Let's do it. LA 101. A fourth stimulus check is in every U.S. state. A fourth stimulus check is in every U.S. state. Say it again back to me. A fourth stimulus check is in every U.S. state. Let's show you the graphic and say it again. A fourth stimulus check is in every U.S. state. If you understand that, if you say it and you understand it and you can repeat it back, you have passed LA 101. That class is now wrapped. You have graduated. It's as simple as that. A fourth stimulus check is in every U.S. state. Last night, we went to LA 202, the next class, in which we went over what are the four stimulus checks in every U.S. state. This requires a little bit of memory. What are the four stimulus checks in every U.S. state? So let's go over them right now again tonight. A fourth stimulus check A is in every U.S. state. A fourth stimulus check A is in every U.S. state. Income qualification is $75,000 less. A single individual, married couple, $150,000 less. A fourth stimulus check is in every U.S. state. That is the homeowner's grant check. Huge. Incredible. Next. Check B. A forced stimulus check of Check B is in every U.S. state. It pays $15,000 to $80,000 of money to you. This Check B is a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. It's called the homeowner's grant check. Let's go to Check C. Check C is a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. It is about $2,000 to a month over 12 months. Many viewers have averaged about $45,000 on this channel. A lot have gotten over $150,000. This is a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Now, let me just make this one clear. It is paid with third stimulus money, but it's still paid out now at the time of fourth stimulus. So I don't want you to get confused by which stimulus package it is. But A is a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. B is a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. And C is a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Let's do a pop quiz, shall we? I think we shall. Can you repeat back what we just did? First, LA 101. You passed that yesterday. A forced stimulus check is in every U.S. state. Tonight's pop quiz. Is Check A a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state? Yes or no? Write in the live chat right now. Yes. Good. Let's go to question number 2 in tonight's pop quiz. Check B. Is it a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state? Write in the live chat. Yes or no? Yes, you got that right. Congratulations. Let's go to Check C. Is Check C a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state? Yes or no? Correct. You got that right as well. Yes was also the answer. There you go. Check A is in every U.S. state. Check B is in every U.S. state. Check C is in every U.S. state. Now, let's go to Check D. Stop the pop quiz. You passed it 100%. Let's go to Check D now. Check D is a little bit different. Let's look at Check D now that we've done Check A, B, and C. Here's Check D. It's averaging about $2,000. Some states do it a little bit differently. Some do it on the return, and some do it as hard cold cash. It is not a stimulus check in every U.S. state. It is currently paying out about 24 states. It is the latest stimulus check. It is only less than about 7 to 10 days old. And that forced stimulus check will be offered in more states in weeks to come. I expect it to go in over 40 states. But tonight it's only 24 states that's currently offering it. All right, let's do pop quiz number 2. Is Check D a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state? No, it's not. How many states is it in? Can you get that one? That's extra credit. Yeah, about 24 states. Will be in more states? Yes, it will. So here is your exam for tonight. Get ready to see if you can pass LALATE 202 if you're new to this channel. If not, you already passed it last night. Is Check A a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state? It is. Is Check B a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state? It is. Is Check C a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state? It is. Is Check D? No, it's not. Now, you ready for tonight's class? Tonight's class is LA 303. Tonight, we're going to get a check. Are you ready? I'm ready. Get your pen. Get your fingers. Get your paper. And get your ears open and your eyes out and get ready to learn. We're going to get our first check tonight together. Now, I'm not going to tell you which of the checks to get. It's up to you. But I'm going to show you the checks to choose from. A, B, C, and D. Ultimately, you choose which check. By the end of tonight, I want you to make the effort to start to get your first check. This is your homework. By the end of tonight, I want you to already apply for at least one of the checks, or at least get the application ready, or get ready to make the call or make the application tomorrow. I'm asking you to do this in 24 hours. This is your assignment because these checks are first come, first serve. They're going to run out of money. All right, let's go over the checks for you to choose from to go get in the next 24 hours. And when I mean get, I mean just get the application on file. I don't expect you to receive the funds in 24 hours. All right, here's Check A. How do you get Check A? Let's go over the details. It's a $6,500 a $12,000 check. It's a fourth stimulus check. It's the homeowner's grant check. How do you get it? Very simple. You go into the membership newsletter. Well, first you become a member, obviously. And then you go in that Crumble newsletter, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and you go down to Check A. You see it, and then there's a link. You click the link, and you go right in to get it. It's an application. It's an online website. Not run by me. It's run by the federal government in the states. You put your name in, you put your address, and you get that forced stimulus check. $6,500. A single individual can get it. Married couple, $150,000 less can get it. If you're on benefits, you can get it as other viewers have as well. Go get check A if that's your choice tonight. Next, check B may be your choice of the check you want to get applied to tonight. It's $15,000 to $80,000. It's a four stimulus check. It is the homeowner's grant check. Average view of this channel is getting about $66,000 to $80,000. Income qualification, same as a third stimulus check. Single individual, $75,000 less, you can get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, you can get it. And that incredible check is very easy to get. How do you get it tonight? Let's go over the details. You go into the membership newsletter. Go down in that membership newsletter until you get to check B. It's right after check A. And then you click the link. It's a different website than check A, obviously. And it looks like this. You choose your state, like Kentucky, like Illinois, like Pennsylvania, on the map. And then it sends you into the state that you live, and you apply. Put your name and address and phone number in, and there you go. How simple is that? I'm sending you the details. You're going in, and you're clicking it and putting your name in, and you're applying. That, my friends, is check B. Go get it tonight. Or maybe tonight you want to get check C. Check C involves a different task. Check C is different than A and B. Check C involves your telephone, involves your hands. Now, let's go over what we've done so far. Check A, very simple. You just open a newsletter. You're going in, clicking, putting your name in, putting your address, and applying. Pretty easy. B, going in, clicking, put your name in, done, applying. Very simple. Check C. This is different for different people. Some people love the telephone. They just love to call people. They love to call people. This is Nancy. I want to book a hairstyle appointment. You just called yesterday, Nancy. Yeah, but I want to look like Bo Derek. I don't think I do that hairstyle for you, Nancy. And I'm still doing that joke. So you sometimes love the phone. So here comes check C. On check C, you're picking up the phone and calling. You ain't going to a website. You're picking up the phone and calling. Now, who do you call? What do you say? Where do you say it? Who tells you these details? I do. And where do I tell you? In the newsletter. How simple is this? You open the newsletter. I tell you where to call for check C. I tell you what to say for check C. I tell you how to say it for check C. I mean, I'm basically saying it for you. You know, I don't want you to make me feel like a ventriloquist or like I'm the dumb. You got the point. So you're going to go into that check C. And what do? Well, first you're going to go into that membership newsletter. Go down to check C. And it tells you the places to reach out to and what to say. You actually put it right in front of you when you're on the phone. How simple is that? You don't even have to write down what I'm about to say to you right now, but I'm going to say it to you right now. You're going to reach out to your city hall, your city housing authority, your county hall, your county housing authority, your state hall, your state housing authority. Then you're going to look down to the nonprofits under check C in the newsletter. There's about 6 or 7 of them. You're going to reach out to all of those. And you're going to try to get rent assistance because of COVID. Those are the key words. Utility assistance because of COVID. Those are the key words. And mortgage assistance because of COVID. There you go. Go get those incredible checks. That is check C. Didn't write that all down? Don't worry, it's all in the newsletter. That's why we have like a workbook. It's sort of like a workbook. We're here. We've taken LA 303 today. You passed LA 202 last night. I even recapped it tonight's recording in case you're new to this channel. And we're doing LA 303 tonight. Went too fast? Don't worry, it's on the workbook. Ready to make that phone call to get check C tonight? Didn't write it down fast enough when watching the video? Don't worry, it's all in the newsletter. It's so darn simple. There you go. You ready for check D? All right, now check D is a little bit different. Check D is a little bit different. It's only in about 24 states, so it may not be in every state. And check D will be in more states thereafter. Where do you learn about check D? One word. Can you write in live chat? I bet you know where you learn about check D. Yeah, in that newsletter. Yeah, go right in that newsletter and you go down after A, B, C, and you find it. There it is, check D. And you learn about your incredible check D. Now, some states are doing it, some states aren't. Some states are doing it a different way than the other state. Go in there and learn about check D. Now, I don't have the ability to tell you every micro microcosm of a detail in your state because there's so many states. I mean, we're in 24 states. I can't write 24 newsletters for you, but I can tell you what the state is doing and how they're doing it. So I can't tell you the routing times or, what mailbox it's coming from. I can't tell you insane details on every 24 states, which is growing to 40 states thereafter. And there you go. A forced stimulus check is landing in every U.S. state, and tonight we've learned how to get that check. So your homework tonight is to go get one of these checks by the end of tomorrow. When you come back to watch me tomorrow on Evenings LA at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I am ready to hear from you in the live chat. Which check did you start to get? Put the application in, make the phone call, or prepare to pounce. I don't expect you to receive the funds in 24 hours. I just want to know that you made the effort. Did you get check A? I'm going to check in tomorrow and see who got check A's application in. I'm going to check in tomorrow and see who got check B's application in. Then I'm going to see who made phone calls to get some check C's. I'm going to see who looked for check D's. Now, I don't want you to just do check D and look for something and then stop. That ain't going to suffice under this homework assignment. I want you to get your applications in for these incredible checks because a forced stimulus check is in every U.S. state. Now, here's what you need to know is that these checks, some of them are over a month old. Yeah, here comes the reality check. They're over a month old. So this is why the homework assignment is so tight. I need you to start moving. No time or place for you to catch up and slow it down. Don't want to hear you came off, you disappeared for, you disappeared for Cinco de Drinko, and then you came back, south of the border in July. I don't know. I went out for Cinco de Mayo, and I ended up in, Acapulco. And I've been there for 5 months. No. Just do not get too torn up on Cinco de Drinko. I need you to be getting those check applications in. I need you to be winning. I need you to graduate into LA 404. What is LA 404? Tomorrow, I want to see that you got one of these checks, applications in, and then we're ready to do a second. So here we go. You pass LA 101. Forced stimulus check is in every U.S. state. You pass LA 202. You know what the checks are. A is in every U.S. state. Check B is in every U.S. state. Check C is in every U.S. state, but check D is not. Then tonight we took LA 303. You learned about how to get A, B, C, and D. But I'm not going to pass you yet until you make the effort tonight for your homework assignment to start applying or ready to apply to get each one of those checks. Only need you to do one. You choose the one. Up to you. It's up to you. And I am going to be so happy to see your report back to me in the live chat tomorrow on Cinco de Mayo. So there you go. Now, tomorrow we're also going to see when you're ready to get that second check because I think you're ready as of tomorrow night. So we're routing and pushing very quickly because these checks are law now for over a month. They're going to run out of funds. I don't want you to wait across the board. Let's go back to the developing details tonight on those other fronts, and they are big. First, when we look at that sixth stimulus, this is getting interesting. Bear markets, not just in the United States, but overseas internationally. Last night, we had a major developing detail. As those Western allies like Germany, France, part of the European Union, said that we're trying to get off those Russian products, but we're going to give a waiver to Hungary and another country, I think it was Slovakia, because they can't get off of those Russian products just yet. I tell you, these people for this sixth stimulus, they got to get moving. Folks, they got to get moving. Why? I told you, time is of the essence when it comes to sixth stimulus and recession. Sixth stimulus is coming out of, is dealing with the burdens of Vladimir Putin and his impact on us potentially going into recession and our domestic allies. What did I tell you back in March? And what are we seeing tonight for May? It's not good. I told you we have to solve oil by May. We have to solve wheat by May. And what have we solved since then? None of them. First, when we talk about the oil situation, I said back in March, the price of oil internationally and domestically is unsustainable. And if it stays at that level into the month of May, we're going into recession. Well, guess what? We're in the month of May, and we're going in recession next year. The price of Brent crude tonight, folks, is 108. If you remember this channel, it's in the newsletter every night, and it's been 108 in the newsletter every night for over a week. That's not a sustainable number. 102 is not a sustainable number. And guess what? Get ready for 120 a barrel. Why? The number is lower at 108 tonight, not because of Vladimir Putin, but because of China. China's on lockdown. COVID, lockdown, and they're not driving their cars. Less consumption. Less consumption, prices go up. Prices go down. When the consumption increases, when they come out of lockdown, China, which they will, they start to drive again. They start to use oil. There'll be less oil, more shortage. The price will go dramatically higher. Folks, it doesn't look good. But I've already told you we're going into recession. More about that in a second. Next, the second part of the equation that Vladimir Putin caused is the wheat. Corn, soybeans, and basic wheat are growing to the highest levels we've seen of a generation. These are out of control prices, and they were surging that late in March. Now they're even higher. They can go 40% higher. It is not caused by China. It is caused by Putin in Ukraine, which is the bread basket of that entire region. Many countries, 80% dependent upon the incredible wheat that comes from the Black Sea. So with that supply chain shortage, has anyone done anything about this? No one. Anything in the Western Allies? No one. Germany, France? No one. United States? No one. And folks, this is where we're going to go into recession very deeply, because this is supply chain 101. If people don't have carbs, guess what happens if you don't have carbs? You freak out. You go in the supermarket and say, I need some potato chips. Oh my God, look at the price of that bag of potato chips, $7. I'm not buying that, but I need my carbs. It's just, maybe it'll help, improve our waistline, because it'll be just too expensive to eat carbs. No, that's actually not funny. We got to get the price of wheat and corn and all these items down, and that's everything from breakfast cereals to potato chips. And if they're not brought down, we go into recession for 2 years. Guess where we are tonight? Where we are tonight is that we have that comment that came in 24 hours ago from Paul Tudor Jones, and he is a billionaire investor who's done very, very well over his livelihood. And he says that he's never seen anything like this. He says uncharted territory, this economy. This is a man who made fortunes in the 1987 stock market crash, and he ranks publicly as one of the most successful hedge fund managers ever, a billionaire. Paul Tudor Jones. What did he say? You can't think of a worse environment than where we are right now for financial assets. Oh, boy, that's strong words. He calls it uncharted territory. He says that everyone should be prioritizing saving their money for virtually anything. I think we're in one of those very difficult periods where capital preservation, which is another word of saying saving your money, is the most important thing we could strive for. I don't think it's going to be one of those periods where you're actually going to be able to try to make money, great sums of money. There's going to be strong growth, trying to balance strong growth and also trying to deal with inflation by the Federal Reserve at the same time is going to be too hard to deal with. And there you go. What is my takeaway tonight, folks? I got to get you on point. This is why we're coming in very strong. This is why we're coming in very fast. This is why we're coming in very aggressively on LA 101, 202, and 303 this week, and tomorrow 404. Why? Because this situation is going to get worse. It's going to get worse very quickly. What's going on? The U.S. economy is going to go from where it is now to something clearly not good by about September. And then by December, you're about to see the edge of the cliff. And then you're going to see the cliff falling over for 2 years starting next January. That is where we are right now. Not everyone knows that. You know it because you're watching this channel. People who listen to his quote, Tudor Jones, know it, but a lot of people know this, and they think it's just great times. Here's my tough love moment for tonight. You cannot afford not getting check A. You cannot afford not getting check B. You cannot afford getting check C, and you're not afford getting check D. You cannot afford sitting around and waiting for Build Back Better Act. I don't want check A, I just want Build Back Better Act. Can't afford it. You cannot afford waiting around for SS300 and not getting check A, B, C, or D. You cannot afford waiting around for 6 stimulus. You cannot afford waiting around for any of these things. As he said, you need to save every penny you got. And saving every penny you got also means getting every penny that's available. Tonight, there's a lot of pennies available. A lot of pennies for you. And that is why I've been very, very clear about the importance of getting the money and saving the money. It could be another recording at another time where someone could say to you, hey, we're going to recession for 2 years. There'll be a lot of stimulus. I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to say, just wait till the recession kicks in and then there's just stimulus swimming everywhere. No, no, no. I'm telling you how anyone correctly would tell you. Here's money, lots of it. Get it tonight because the storm is coming. The storm is coming on the horizon. I'm basically telling you, get your power generator ready. Get your windows locks bought. Get your storm windows installed. And get everything ready because the storm is on the horizon. And together we'll get through that storm as one. We've done this before and we've learned together as one. Finally, my commentary tonight, as if that was not a commentary. My commentary tonight is the very important thing, is that when we look at check A, B, and C, it involves these things. Check A. You're going to a website, you're typing in, you're putting your name in. Check B, you're going to a website, you're typing in, you're putting your name in. Check C, you're picking up the phone and calling someone. Do not ask for people to go do that for you. Do not. No one is going to go get money for you. That's not the universe in any part of this society. The volunteers are not going to go out and get money for you. The person in the live chat is not going to go out and get money for you. If you're saying, someone help me, that's another version of saying, someone go get the money for me. Over this entire channel, we have 24 hours of programming per day. We have the LA Live, which has been a massive success. And it's successful because it explains what this video has in there 24 hours a day. It is a learning video. All the videos are learning videos, but that is extremely a learning video. That runs 24 hours a day practically on this channel and explains this is where the money is. Here is where you get it. Then you got the incredible newsletter, Monday through Friday, that shows you here's the money. Click here, apply. Let's make this very clear. You open the membership newsletter. Click, type my name, submit. Thank you. Why are you asking anyone to help you on that? Why? You can go click, type your name, push, enter. Oh, that felt great. Yeah, you can go on, on your favorite big box retailer and buy some lobster sauce to be shipped overnight, 24-hour delivery. You can certainly get this. If you can order your favorite Cinco de Drinko automatically to be delivered tomorrow for Cinco de Drinko, then you can certainly go click, and put your name in. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I've seen it enough, and it's gotta stop. Where people say, I want someone to push a button for me. No one's going to push a button for me, for you. Come on already. No one did that for you for EIDL. No one did that for PUA. No one did that for UI. No one did that for PPP. You got to get caught up. You got to know your fingers are on this hand. You learned and watched with me for 2 years. You applied for PUA. You applied for EIDL. You applied for PPP. You went to the website to put in your name and address when we had the non-filer filing in 2020. Remember that? You did that so well. I didn't even have to teach you. You found it yourself. You got that. You did that. You know how to do these things. When we're talking about the CDC in 2021, I said, make sure you have a tax return on it. Otherwise, you're not going to get that $3,600 for those children. You went right in there and got that application file. Pretty simple. When I told you to track your stimulus check by doing the IRS track your stimulus tool, and then we did the other thing, the backdoor thing where you went in there and did a transcript search in IRS, you followed that. You did it. In recent days, some people simply just don't want to do anything. Don't want to do anything. You won't get anything. I mean, volunteers are not here to do that for you. People in the live chat are not here to do this for you. It's as though you walk into, and I don't want to sort of look like I'm being pedantic, but it's though you're walking into a lecture hall and the professor's teaching you. And I'm saying, here's the checks. Here's the website you apply. I'm giving you the information. I'm printing it out. You click the button. You go in there and you say to the professor, can you go do it for me? No, I'm not going to go do it for you. Can the people in the lecture hall, can the other students in the room, can they do that for me? Imagine every person in the same lecture hall said, can you do it for me? Okay. Then the professor, you're all going to fail because no one did anything. You all looked to someone else to do it. What are we, in a frat where someone No, I shouldn't say that joke. What you got to know is you got to do these things. And you got to do it now. You got to do it now. Because that horizon, that storm is coming on in. That recessionary environment is coming by the end of the fall. The recession will kick in next year. It's going to be very bad. Stocks are going to be down. Bonds are going to be down. The real estate markets are already starting to ease up. It's going to really tank by the end of the year. We have 4 housing months down. The housing starts are down 4 consecutive months. It's going to be a lot more. And as that grows, then the housing homes for sale in the housing market are going to grow. The surplus is going to grow. The inventory is going to grow. As the inventory grows, then you have the housing market crash because then no one's selling the house. They bought the houses at the height of COVID and they thought they're going to always have a great investment. Then they may have a flexible rate mortgage, God forbid. You may have credit card debt. I hope not. You may have a car loan. I hope not. Those rates are going to go from 5% to 6%. They're going to keep on going up because J. Powell's raises things up. Yeah, I don't want to scare you. I just want you to do your work. I just want you to go get those checks. Now, finally, you'll see perhaps by the end of tonight or shortly thereafter, a new video uploaded. It's a short 2-minute how-to. If you want to know where the newsletter is, then there's that 2-minute how-to video on the channel as well. Don't ask me how to find the video, Don't ask me, hey, Alec, where do I find the video about how to find the newsletter, about where to find the lobster sauce, about... At some point it has to happen. But that will be up on the channel as well. Have a beautiful night. And remember, I want you to become a member. Congratulations to the hundreds of members who have become a member of this channel. We're growing leaps and bounds. It's America's most watched show for financial news in prime time. I give you the breaking news. I give you the analysts. I give you the economic data. I give you the financial data. I give you stocks, bonds. I give you the housing market. I give you the recession, inflationary numbers you need to know. I give you the analysis of how to get the checks. I show you where to get the checks. I actually write it up for you and say, here is where you get the checks. I help people become financially independent, and I help you become a better person. Plus, we have a great community, but we're still missing bacon. And with that, become a member. Go into the chat and hug a boost to all of you. Become a member. Also, hug someone in the live chat. Say hello-cium to the person next to you. Say, did I see you at Crayolville? You know, they got to change the colors there. And with that, go into the video and become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Stay with me throughout the night with Evenings LALATE, Evenings Countdown, Straight and Stimulus, and Evenings Extra. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful evening, and stay with LA for more.